Hey, what is up, everybody? This is the Great Puckatini, and what I got for you today is I'm gonna throw my hat. I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring today, and I'm throwing it squarely behind Bobby Petrino to be our next head football coach. He's taking the interim role right now. He's a guy that has a proven track record. He's a winner. He's won at Arkansas already. He already has re-energized our offense. I hate that Coach Pittman got fired. I think they still had a chance with 8 games left to get things going again. Just remember this: the two teams they lost to, Memphis and Ole Miss, who we had both of them beat, are both still undefeated. That would have been their only losses of the season. So Petrino's come back. He's revitalized our offense. He's got it going, and he wants the job. So let's just give it to him. He's the man for the job, I truly believe. And I said Bobby Petrino versus Rhett Lashlee. Now, Rhett is an Arkansas guy, and I hope he wins the national title. If we can't do it, I hope he does. I wish him all the best in the world. If we didn't have Bobby Petrino, I'd be behind Rhett Lashlee, I think. But I've seen what Bobby can do. I was a head football coach at the time in the state, and man, he is electric. He can win football games. He's very intelligent. He's the man for the job, I truly believe. And maybe Rhett, after Petrino leaves, he gives us 4 or 5 years there, however long. Let's look at Rhett then maybe, and he has a few more years. But in the SEC, we need, Bobby Petrino knows how to win in the SEC. All right, now, so what I've tried to do here is try to make a data-driven look at why Bobby Petrino is the right choice over Rhett Lashlee. And I'm throwing my hat in the ring behind him right before we play Tennessee. This is about an hour or two before Arkansas plays Tennessee. And I don't care if Tennessee beats us by 100. I don't care if we beat them by 100. I am totally behind Bobby Petrino, and I think he is the head coach that we need right now. For sure. I'm totally behind him. So let's check it out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, this is a year-by-year record comparison. This is really hard to get together because, you read stuff on the internet and it's wrong. You have to really check it, double-check. So if I have any mistakes on here, please forgive me. But anyway, you look in 2003, I think that was his first year. And you look at Bobby when he was at Louisville, he won 9 games, then 11, then 9, and then 12. And then right there after Louisville, I think is where he went to Atlanta to be the Falcons head coach. And you look at that, 9-11, 9-12, I mean, the guy can just flat out coach. He lost 5, not many games in that number of years. I mean, he's just an electric coach, really good. And then so he went to Atlanta, and the NFL, man, it's a mess. I don't know anybody at that time he could make big money in the NFL. Now, college coaches make about as good as NFL guys, so I don't know why they would want to go to the NFL, to be honest with you. That's not football anymore. It's getting to where it's just crazy. But anyway, then so he comes to Arkansas after the NFL. Whoop, hang on, let me go back. And at Arkansas, he took over. They were struggling. We were struggling at that time again. And he goes 5-7, then 8-5, then 10 wins, then 11 wins. I mean, that 2-year span, 2010, 2011, we were living high on the hog, man. That was I think I'm going to tell you about another slide how that was probably the best 2-year span of any time at Arkansas, and that was led by Bobby Petrino. Now, and then I think he might have took a year off after Arkansas. You know what happened here. Everybody knows that. But then he ended up Western Kentucky. He goes 8-4 there. And then he goes back to Louisville. And look what he did when he goes back to Louisville. He wins 9 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, 8 wins. And then kind of the wheels fell off there 2018. He'd been coaching for a long time, a lot of stuff. And man, sometimes you need a break. And he might have needed a little bit of a break there. They went to 2-8. I don't know exactly what happened there, but look at how he gave them 3-4 seasons of 8 wins or more again. I mean, so he's just proven he knew how to win at Louisville. He come in, won again, really big. What would we do right now for a 9-win season? I mean, holy cow. And I thought that might have been possible when we had our whole team together. I still think that even after they fired Pittman and everything, I think we had it set up good. I think we made a big mistake. But now we got to go with it. And I think Petrino's the man to do it. And now, and the reason I'm doing this against Rhett Lashlee, like I said, I think Rhett Lashlee's a good coach. Well, then also Petrino at Missouri State, he was there for what, 3 years? He went about 18-15, had an 8-win season there. And Missouri State is not in just a recruiting hotbed, guys. I mean, my goodness. But he went 18-15 there. Now, kind of contrast that with Rhett Lashlee. Rhett's, he's 31-14, I think, as of last week. And you look, his first year at SMU, he was 7-6. Then he won 11. Then he won 11 again. Now, that's good, but he's only been a head coach for 3 years, and he's had the transfer portal, or you can just jump in and grab a whole bunch of players. But he's in the middle of Dallas right there, and that is a recruiting hotbed. I mean, if you're a good coach, you ought to be winning big time. I mean, big time. If you're a really good coach, and I think he's a good coach. I just think he needs a little bit more. Like I say, I would probably be backing him if it wasn't for Petrino there. And you look at their career winning percentage. Petrino is 137-71 with a 66% winning percentage. He's won everywhere he's been. He's won 8-9 games everywhere he's been. He's had like 2 or 3 years maybe where he won less than that. Just a really good coach, man. And he's won at Arkansas. And already he knows how to win. He's revitalized our offense. I mean, he's the man for the job, guys. I'm telling you. And now Rhett Lashlee, his career is 31-14. He has a 69% winning percentage. That's really good too. But like I say, he's at a smaller conference, and he's right at SMU. That's the middle of Dallas, man. You gotta build it. You ought to be loaded. You ought to have really good teams every year. That's kind of like that dude that they're talking about too, that South Florida coach. I was watching them last night. Man, if you can't recruit in South Florida and be loaded with talent, you don't have a clue what you're doing. He's got a pretty good team, and they beat North Texas last night. But North Texas, I mean, gosh, South Florida ought to whoop their butt. But anyway, and you're in these recruiting hotbeds like Dallas, South Florida, you ought to be winning big time. Now, Petrino was in Louisville. I mean, Louisville, they're a basketball school, guys. I mean, come on. And he's been in there and he's won. That's kind of like the boy at Indiana right now. Cignetti, and Kurt Cignetti won big everywhere he was at. His winning percentage was like 70-77%, something like that. And Petrino has won everywhere he's been. These guys know how to coach, know how to do it. And I think Rhett's going to be really good too. But wait until you're 4 or 5, and he's been there, and you'll see he'll. But anyway, I would probably back him. But like I say, Coach Petrino's the guy we ought to get right now. So let's look a little bit more into that. Also, look at Lashlee's strength of schedule at SMU. In 2022, they won 7 games. They had the 55th strongest. Their schedule was ranked 55th. I mean, Arkansas right now is playing the 3rd-ranked schedule in the country. I mean, whoever did that schedule ought to be absolutely fired. It's ridiculous. And then in 2023, when won 11 games, he played the 115th ranked schedule. I mean, you ought to be winning 11 games. And then last season, he was playing 47th. So, not playing a very strong schedule, strength of schedule, and their conference schedule. Conference is not the strongest. I mean, you got Clemson in there, but they're off. They're down. They're not like they were before NIL and all this hit. But anyway, so, Rhett's doing a good job, but he's not playing exactly the competition he's going to face in the SEC. It's going to be different. The type of athletes he's recruiting, getting in SMU, is going to have to get better if you're going to go compete week in and week out in the SEC, for sure. All right, now here's some of Coach Petrino's major achievements. He's made 11 bowl appearances as a head coach. He has 7 AP top 25 finishes. He has 3 top 6 finishes in 2004, 2006, and 2011, which was at Arkansas. He coached 2016 Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson, and that was at Louisville, guys. I mean, my goodness. And look what he's doing with Taylon Green. Taylon was going to start getting some Heisman talk. If we hadn't kind of fell off against Notre Dame like we did, he struggled a little bit too. I think Taylor may be banged up a little bit again. And I think Bobby would be able to get a quarterback a little bit better of a thrower after Talon here. I think KJ is going to be a heck of a quarterback. That's another reason. He's got KJ Jackson sitting there. And KJ, I'm telling you, I think he'll be better than Talon. He's a better passer, and he can run when he has to. Whereas Talon has to really rely on his legs. But Lamar Jackson, I mean, look where he took Lamar from Louisville, guys. Won the Heisman. Now he's been in the NFL for many years. I mean, that's Coach Petrino taught him that. He's always had really good quarterbacks. And he led Arkansas to their first BCS Bowl and number 5 AP finish in 2011. I think that's when Ohio State beat us. And I think we hired most of their defensive coaches after that because he saw defense had to get better. But anyway, you see major achievements here. The guy can flat out coach. He's there. He's on staff. He wants the job. Give it to him. Let him go get it. Here's his. I call this his Arkansas legacy. He's 34-17 overall at Arkansas. He was 17-15 in the SEC. He took us to the 2010 Liberty Bowl, 2011 Sugar Bowl, and the 2012 Cotton Bowl. We finished number 12 in the AP in 2010, a number 5 AP finish in 2011. Like I said, those 2 years there, those 11 wins in 2011 tied our school record. I mean, so when you look at our best coaches, Bobby Petrino's got to be right at the top, and him and Houston Nutt. I mean, and then you got other ones too. That was all before my time. Houston Nutt was when I was in college, and then Bobby Petrino was when I was coaching. Petrino was head coach, so just a heck of a coach here, man. And our top 5 national finish there in 2011 was the best since 1977. That was the year I was born. So, I mean, this guy is a winner. He knows how to win at Arkansas. He didn't do this at SMU. He didn't do it somewhere else. He did it at Arkansas in the SEC. He knows the type of talent you need. Look at the offense he's built. The receivers he's brought in, guys. Holy moly. He's got a load of receivers. Now, he's lost 1 or 2 of them to injury now. Jaylen Brown, Harrison, and but anyway, I mean, he had a load of receivers. And offensive line, they built it really good. And they've played really well. He's done a great job. I think he's the man for the job. All right, and here's the 21-5 highlight. This is the 2 seasons I was talking about earlier. So Arkansas under Petrino in 2010, 2011, they went 21-5. Holy moly. Can you imagine that right now? Going 21-5. What would we take for that? It was the best 2-year stretch in modern program history. We got a BCS bowl berth and a top AP finish, top 5 AP finish. We had wins over multiple ranked SEC opponents. The SEC was tough back then too. Now they were no slouch, like they are now. But he knows how to win. He knows how to do it, and I'm excited to see who he can get. We got Jackson, KJ Jackson, in there, and I'm excited to see how he does next year. But we got to get Bobby. We got to keep him. He's the man we need. He's the man we need to have right now. Here's his most recent impact these last couple seasons here, for 2023 and 2025. Last 2 seasons, is that right? Yeah. I don't know my date if I messed that up or not. But anyway, he's revitalized Arkansas's offense as offensive coordinator. They're a top 20 offense nationally, yards per game. He's developed future NFL talent. Talent Green playing in the NFL. Several linemen will. Andrew Armstrong was in the NFL. Running backs will be there. I mean, he develops talent well, and he's also showed adaptability to the modern NIL system in this portal area. A lot of coaches like Dabo Swinney at Clemson really struggling with this NIL stuff. Nick Saban, he says that's one reason he got out. They were not adaptable. Petrino has shown he is. He can win everywhere he's gone. He's won big, and he's adaptable. He can do what he needs to do to win. He's too tough not to. I'm telling you, he's too tough and too strong-willed not to win. Now, here's some risk of hiring Rhett Lashlee right now. And like I say, he might have fallen down the list now. And I'll say why on like the 4th bullet now. But he's only had 3 seasons as a head coach and none in the SEC. Now if it'd come from the Big Ten, maybe I'd say, hey, Big Ten's really good right now too. Big 12 is pretty good, but I think Big Ten and SEC are the two best ones. So he hasn't done that winning in the SEC. Defensive performance has been inconsistent. His defense has been better these last 2 years, but he's not playing the talent that he's not playing the teams he's going to play in the SEC, the Missouris, and LSU. I mean, LSU is going to be a team we play every year in this new schedule we're going to have. Now he's unproven against SEC level competition. And one of the main things, too, is he has a large buyout right now due to SMU's private status. I've read it's anywhere from $6 to $10 million just to buy him out, buy his contract out, and get him to Arkansas. And we're saying we don't have the money to field a team that can win a national title, and we're going to go spend $6 to $10 million just to get him. Then you're going to have to sign him to a huge contract. He's going to want a big buyout because he knows how we fired Coach Pittman, and they know that can happen to them. It was like John Gruden said, you're going to get fired. It's just a question of when. So they know that, and so it makes no sense monetarily. And Petrino's there. He wants the job. Even if he wasn't there, I would still think he's the man for the job. He can win at Arkansas. And Arkansas is not a place we can, I hate to say it's not a place you win easily, but it's not in a recruiting hotbed. And it's hard to win, and you gotta do well. And Petrino can do it. You got to know how to do it, I guess I should say. And also, Lashlee had a heavy reliance on the transfer portal. When you have to sign people up from the smaller divisions, he's getting some people from the higher players from some of the higher D1s, and they're coming down to his level and playing. And, you can't do that when you're at SEC in Arkansas. A lot of the players in the portal, they're there for a reason. Maybe they're trying to get more money. Maybe the team didn't want them. They have some baggage. And so you don't want to live just exclusively off that. You fill in holes as you have them. But I don't think you just have to live. And I think he's got too much of a reliance on it from what I've read. And he's just untested at the Power 5 level. He just has not played that kind of competition, and you got to learn it. You got to learn that kind of level, and he's just not there yet. Bobby Petrino has been there. He's won big. He's the man for the job. He's the one that we need to give it to. Now, experience and age comparison. Bobby Petrino has coached for 20-plus years as a head coach. He's a proven winner in the SEC. Lashlee, like I said, only 3 seasons as a head coach. No Power 5 experience. Petrino has coached in multiple BCS New Year's Six Bowls. Lashlee has 1 college football playoff berth, and that's from a non-SEC conference. It's easy. I mean, if you're a really good coach, somebody that's going to come in SEC and burn it up, you got to win in those smaller conferences. You got to win big. You should be tearing people up. And he's doing pretty good. He has 69% winning percentage, but I don't know if it's good enough to where we're going to go buy him out, spend all that money, when you got Bobby Petrino sitting there wanting the job. I mean, to me, that makes absolutely no sense at all. And I've heard Jerry Jones is backing Rhett Lashlee. I don't know if that's true or not, but I love Jerry Jones, and I'm glad he's the owner of the Cowboys. I wish they'd win more. But, I don't really like to listen to Jerry Jones and who he thinks should be a coach. Look at his record at hiring coaches. I mean, he did pretty good with Jimmy Johnson and Bill Parcells, but after that, they've been pretty dadgum questionable. Schottenheimer may come on through here, but, Jerry Jones, I hold who he likes as head coach about with a grain of salt. Now, I like Jerry Jones a lot now, don't get me wrong, but I don't hold his recommendation very highly. I just don't. But anyway, I like Rhett. I think he's good. I just don't think he's ready right now since we have Petrino there. Now, here's my final call to action. It's time to bring back Bobby Petrino as our head coach. He's a proven winner. He will bring back accountability. That's the thing I see is Arkansas don't have any accountability. I love Coach Pittman. I wish he was still the head coach, but I don't think they had enough accountability. When Taylor Green runs out of bounds on 4th down and don't throw the ball downfield, he needs to have his butt chewed out. And I love Taylor Green. He's a great player. Bobby Petrino will do that. He will hold you accountable. And whether you're offense, defense, whatever, you want to do something stupid, you better get ready to get your butt chewed out when you get to the sideline. That's what Taylor's been telling the defensive players. He said, if you think he's fired up, he said, you ought to be in the quarterback room with us. He said, he's still got the juice. And that's what you need. You got to have a coach out there that's fiery, that's going to light somebody up. These guys have got to be held accountable. If they're not held accountable, they're not going to play. They're going to do like they did against Notre Dame and just not show up and get the dog mess beat out of us when we shouldn't have. We should have been able to compete with them. And he's got a record-breaking offense. I mean, he's coaching our two best. Think of this, guys. Ryan Mallett and Taylor Green are our top two offensive players in history. Have gained the most yards, I think, of anybody in the history of the program. Who coached them two? Coach Petrino. Okay, so I mean, come on now. Even the great running backs, McFadden, Cedric Cobbs at Houston Nutt had. These two quarterbacks here are the two best we've had in the whole history. So, I mean, he knows how to do it at Arkansas. He has SEC experience. He revived Arkansas once, and he can do it again, just like he did at Louisville. And, guys, that's about all I got. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you agree with me about Bobby Petrino. And like I say, they got Tennessee today here in about 30 minutes or so. And I don't care if they get beat by 100. I don't care if they win by 100. I do care. But I'm behind Bobby Petrino 100%. And be watching for more videos. I'm going to compare him to Dan Mullen. All these guys that I see, there's about 5 of them that I see people are saying we should hire. And you got the man sitting right there, going to be our interim coach. And he's in a tough spot, guys. It's a super tough spot, having to try to round these guys back up together and get them going in the same direction. He's in a tough spot. If he can come out and be successful and finish this year up right, holy moly, you talk about a heck of a coach, because he is in a tough position. And he could have said, no, I'm not going to be the interim because I don't want to muddy my name, But he stepped up to the plate, and he's wanting to do it. And he is good enough to do it. And I think we ought to hire him. And so anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. And then subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I'm going to be comparing him to a lot of these other coaches here later. Hopefully learn a little bit. Hopefully you'll agree with me. If not, leave me a message if you saw I messed something up or misspoke there. I love to talk football, and I will respond back to you for sure. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. And as we're fixing to get ready to take on these Tennessee Volunteers, who are a heck of a football team. They're really, really good. I broke them down in a video earlier this week. Check that out if you got time there. And see if I'm right. See if I'm correct in what I talked about there, about how we can be in the game with them. And that's all I got, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. And as always, go Hogs. Let's go get a Vol.